when farmers sit in front of you at the table and they're bringing their concerns to you, I would say years ago, a lot of those concerns were around, family issues, family dynamics, and succession planning. What are some of the concerns that farmers are bringing to you now?
One of the concerns that we're seeing, as accountants, we all like numbers, and so we see strong profitability, and we think the farm should be excited about that. But what our growers are correcting us and saying, Dean, yes, there's profitability, but the looming capital requirements of our industry just to sustain our current operations is so significant, with inflation of machinery, with inflation of input prices, and with the front loading of inputs way earlier in the process than it used to be. We're hearing that, and we're realizing that they're absolutely correct when you look at the capital stored in our businesses to run the acres we're talking about. And these are not, everyone gets a misconception or a misnomer that these are only stressful things for a big farm, because only big farms take a lot of capital. Well, if you have a 1,500 acre farm, it still takes a significant amount of capital, and it's your life's work to run that operation. And so those concerns are just as significant, whether you're a 1,500 acre farm or a 15,000 acre farm. They're big, and so we're tweaking the way we think about it, thanks to the input from our friends in the industry. It's really about execution. We're only how many months? 4 months away, 5 months away from having another hopefully successful harvest under our belt. And with the current opportunities that sit out there from a marketing perspective, probably if not the best, the second best opportunity in Cherilyn and my lifetime sits in front of us. And commodity fluctuations are big, but they're ones we don't have control over. So the best we can do is execute and really take advantage of the opportunities when Mother Nature and the markets allow for it. Cherilyn, where's your head on the year to come?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like you, Dean. I'm just thinking weeks in front of me right now. No one would ever accuse me of being much of a futurist. I didn't even know I was going to be a farmer. So I don't look too far ahead. I rely on a lot of other people to, look into the future. Right now, in the 26th of April, I'm just thinking about a few weeks ahead of us. We need, 15, 16, 17 solid days to get the seed in the ground. And, I think we're sitting in a really good position moisture wise, which is like number one. We want to be able to seed into some moisture and not too much. And so I would say seeding conditions here are looking good. Marketing has been happening, for us since last summer. We are already trying to buy fertilizer. We're pre-buying inputs more than a year in advance now. So I would say in my farming career, that's something that's relatively new, where it's just become, a given that you're going to be looking for supply and pricing more than a year in advance for inputs on the input side. And on the marketing side, man, it's a crazy world out there right now. These are prices we've never seen. They're almost like you kind of have to brush your cell phone in the morning to see if there's just a fog over top of these numbers, because it's hard to believe that they're real and legit. And if you start marketing a month ago at the highest prices you've ever seen, you're already feeling disappointed because they're even higher. So it's just a crazy time for us right now. Marketing is one piece of that puzzle, and things look okay on that front for sure. But I agree completely with Dean that right now I think most farmers are thinking about execution. How can we make the most of this germination coming up in the spring?
Well, and you touched on an interesting topic that's been near and dear to my heart, because I come from the business side of agriculture and not the agronomic side. So, but from a business structure perspective, it's frustrating to me that so much capital has been forced into the farm businesses just to maintain operations. 20 years ago, we were highly leveraged in the industry, and we were hoping to produce enough crop production to pay that year's input bills. Well, Norm, Cherilyn just touched on her farm is now having to outlay capital in the spring of 2022 for the 2023 crop because of inflationary concerns and risks and offloading that. So that has an enormous impact on the balance sheets of farms, because the capital required, ignoring the land ownership consideration, just the capital stored in inputs for this year's crop and next year's crop, and the substantial investment in machinery. We're talking somewhere in the range of $400 to $500 an acre of machinery ownership per acre on dryland grain. It's significant. And so along with that, the interest rate effect on our businesses is significant, not only on the land value and land appreciation factor, but on the capital requirements of the operating business, because it takes a lot of money to run these farms.
And Dean, another comment about that. It used to be, I think, from a farmer's perspective, it used to be a luxury to be able to pre-buy inputs like that. You could take advantage of a low price. On top of that stress, we now have supply issues where it isn't a matter of, can we get a little better deal by buying it a year and a half in advance? It's, are we going to get it if we don't? Are you seeing that too?
We are absolutely seeing that, and I've been an advocate of agriculture for a while, and always been frustrated that the old sales tactic of you better buy now or we're going to run out I've never been a big fan of that. But in the current situation, I believe that's genuine advice by the people in the industry, because they are significantly affected by supply chain issues. One of the things I think, one of the positive changes that I believe is going to come from this is us as an industry is going to start to make sure we have mitigating the trade issues, and start developing some North American made solutions, because the risks of the supply chain are both political and physical are substantial.
So Dean, I understand that MNP has been engaged by Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada to take a look at some of the programs that are available to farmers, and specifically the Act, the Ag Marketing Act. And inside of that are programs like the Cash Advance program. Can you give us some sort of comment on what that's going to look like coming down the pipeline?
The key for me is it goes back to that capital structure of our business and the operating requirements to run a large scale grain farm. It is significant. So those programs do support that capital structure, and the additional capital requirements. So it'll be interesting to see what the MNP's analysis comes back as far as the size and scale of those programs.